Here are all of the components for the Feather Class Skycoach that I have available. There are 4 pieces of the hull. It's a nice little runabout style ship with some beautiful filigree along the front here and along the engine here. It's just a great looking little ship. There are alignment holes that you put filament into, 3D printer filament. I'll include a little bit so you can assemble it properly with those as alignment pegs. Just, put each half together and then put those 2 halves together and you're kind of good to go. There is a small nose cone that goes together. There's some more alignment holes in that, and then it attaches up here at the nose of the ship. And we have the fins that go on the back here. They end up attaching on these little lugs here. There's some little pegs that are sticking out of the back on each side. And there's 6 total pieces, so 3 go on each side. There are little recesses for those lugs to go into. And the trick to these is kind of line them all up where they have the same orientation, where they have the same, curved bit of sailcloth. And then the one with the 2 spines goes on one end. And then you kind of be able to figure out which goes into which, because the ones with only 1 spine, this bit goes into a recess on the side. So you should be able to line those up, and then those will align with the pins there. There are 2 little doors that go on the side. There's just a little recess that's between the 2 and some hinges here on the back piece. Obviously the other side of the door jamb is on the front of the model, but those will slide in there. You can leave those separate if you want them removable. They'll just kind of hold in place there. They will probably be a little tight, but you can kind of sand them down a little bit and get them there. I just glued mine in because I didn't need them removable. There is a little helm that comes again in 2 parts just for print quality. Those go together with some alignment holes, and then there is the actual helm itself. It's got a couple of very little, somewhat delicate yoke bits there. And then this is actually magnetizable. So there's a 5mm by 2mm hole there. You can get some magnets for that. And then it will mate into this hole here. So it will sit just like that. And you can have a guy in there, and then you can pull it out so you can actually get them in and out. And then this whole piece is actually also magnetizable onto the ship, so you can have the helm there as optional. You can take it on, take it off. Or, you can just kind of glue it down and have that. There is a small fin for the bottom. There are 2 alignment holes here, and then underneath here it goes inside of this little ridged bit. You can see the halves of alignment holes there. The other halves are on the other half of that model. And they'll go together and you'll be able to align that there. There are 2 engines and 2 propellers. One goes on one side, one goes on the other. They are interchangeable, so they're basically the same, though be careful with positioning. You may want to put these fins on before you install the engines. One of the ones that I have, the propellers intersect these fins, and that it looks a little wonky because the propellers obviously would not be able to spin. And then the last 2 pieces are these additional little sails. These go on the front of the Mini here, in these little recesses there, and those will fit right in there, and you can glue those in. And then in addition to that, there is a stand. The stand just goes into a recess. It is disassemblable. I can, if you would like either a shorter stand or a taller stand, I can create one of those for you, just reach out and I'll get you a quote. Those are pretty cheap. You mostly just have to pay for shipping and, you know, $1 or $2, depending on how many you want and how big. But yeah, that's it. That's the whole model. It's fairly simple and straightforward to put together. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.